Yo, Kaspa family, we're seeing a nice drop, a nice discount on Kaspa right now. Dude, this is crazy. This is nice. This is beautiful. We love it. If you don't love the discounts, I don't know what to tell you. But what's the move here? What is the move? Now we're seeing a nice drop on down below 9 cents. Okay, so I was saying low nines, 9 cent. I want to see it. And here we go. So 8.5 cents, this is going to be a very key level to hold. I do hope we hold this 8.5 cent range, but it can as well go as low as 8 cents. You know, the high from this level can act as a support. Similar to 8.5 cents, you see it's like this is a support level. This right here, this is a floor between 8.5 and 9 cents. This can be a support level from the previous place where it had support. As well, this will be another support level, and here as well. These are support levels. Now, why do I like 9 cents? Why do I like buying Kaspa right now at this exact price? Well, let me tell you, at 6 cents, okay? This is basically the low of Kaspa. Let's take it over to TradingView. So 6 cents was essentially the low, the bottom. I mean, yeah, it went down to about 5.5 cents, but 6 cents. And now what's the top? The top peaked at around 12 cents. Okay, that's literally a 2x, a double in price. Now, how does crypto operate? Well, if it sees a huge, massive spike, like a double in price, crypto wants to, just like all assets, they want to draw back. They want to retest. People are going to be taking profit down to the about halfway point. What's the halfway point between 6 cents and 12? It's 9 cents. So that's why I really do like the value at 9 cents. You know, you have to also keep in mind the opportunity cost. If you do wait for a lower low, that might not ever happen. So I'm not saying that, I do think that crypto can go lower, but Kaspa has been performing, it's honestly oversold compared to the rest of the crypto market. We look at Bitcoin, I really do believe Bitcoin can retest this 100K range. I mean, it's right there in the daily Bollinger, the low. Would be a very reasonable place for Bitcoin to retest. But for Kaspa, I mean, it's already fallen quite a lot, already half of the value of its recent peak. So I wouldn't be surprised for Kaspa to perform better going forward, especially with the L2, Kasplex L2 just released. Now, I'm not going to make a video right now on it. I'll do it right after because their testnet faucet isn't working right now. So, you know, I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to have a Q&A with Kasplex as well, with Kaspador. So that's going to be epic. I was going to have it actually right now, but you know, with the launch of the testnet, he needs, you know, they need all hands on deck. So no problem there. So I really do like this opportunity with Kaspa. That's my reasoning. You know, I told to my Patreon, my people in my Discord, that this is definitely like there's too much weakness, macro weakness around this range for Kaspa and across crypto. I mean, you could have seen it up here as well. Now that's a 20% increase if you did manage to. I mean, you know, some people like to flip. Some people like to flip these macro signals. And if you did flip, that's a 20% increase on your entire portfolio from here to here, from 10.8 cents to 9 cents. That's a 20% increase. And it's like, it's not even that hard to flip the macro, in my opinion. I mean, unless you're, what's his name? James Wynn or whatever the heck his name is. Let's see, what's his name? That poor guy, that poor lad lost $100 million, bruh. That's 1 billion cash. Like, geez, man. I mean, of course you won't be able to buy 1 million cash with $100 million because you're gonna spike the price up. But like, even if you got half of that, half a billion cash, like you'd just be set for the. Your great grandchildren would be set, and this guy been liquidated. You know, 40x long on Bitcoin at a peak. Like, bruh. You know, hire some team of analysts. There were some bots, and I don't know. That's just, you know, I kind of feel bad for that level of stupidity, but at the same time, I also just saw someone say that he got that money by scamming people. I don't know. You know, drop a comment if you know some more info on this character, because I just heard of him right now, honestly. You know, again, Kaspa is more secure fundamentally than Bitcoin. It immensely improves the security from attackers, especially from when the network operates at high rates. Now, I'm not just making this up. Like, it's there in the security, and it's not just there in the security, but it's also there in the research paper from 12 years ago. Here, let me show you real quick. This is from the what's it called? Fast money grows on trees. This is a little quote from it. I mean, it literally increases the security of Bitcoin. It doesn't just increase it by this was back when it was 1 BPS. Now it's 6,000 times faster than Bitcoin while immensely improving security from attackers. So definitely check out my past video because this one just people don't understand. They don't understand. They think like nobody says it. Nobody says it's more secure than Bitcoin fundamentally. Of course, it's not more secure because it doesn't have the hashing power, but you have to look at fundamentally the structure of the block DAG and how being so scalable and so fast and efficient actually makes it more secure because you don't have to wait nearly as long confirmation period. But if you do wait for the confirmation times longer, your transactions on the network is going to be accepted and more secure against attackers. It's beautiful. So buy during the fear, not during the greed. This is the opportunity, and it's in something that's I don't like to show MEXC, but like it or not, we have to drain the supply on MEXC. Wild really likes 9 cent as an entry zone, which literally just happened. So congrats to the people that bought. 9 cent had very large buy orders, limit buy orders. It was actually the largest limit buy orders on the entire order book on MEXC. MEXC has massive sell orders on its order book, and this is something we really it's worrisome. Honestly, like it or not, it's a little bit worrisome. So when you see buy orders trying to counteract the selling, that's beautiful, and you have to think in the mind of a whale. Like these big buy orders, once they get filled, these whales want to keep the price going up because they just got their perfect entry, and now they're like reversing that. They would like to reverse the trend, and it's not just with Kaspa, but it's across crypto. These big money whales, they're not just buying Kaspa, they're buying Ethereum, they're buying Solana, they're buying altcoins, and this is a massive sell that we just saw. So it's going to need time to come back up and retest. Like for Kaspa, it's going to need time to come back up to 10 cents, for example. 10 cents would be a very fair place for it to come back and retest on the micro short-term time frame. From there, it can even go up to 10.5 cents and even up to 11 cents. From there, it's just all volatility, okay? So you get in at a low, and now you'll be safe from that volatility. You're going to be in profit short term, most likely, or more likely, I should say. Going forward in the weekly, you're going to see, there is still weakness on the weekly chart. But it's not a bad place to get in. Like I said, it's a halfway point from the top and the bottom. This is where charts like to see a retest, and once that retest happens, it's going to likely be a consolidation period. We'll have to continue the buy pressure on Kaspa so it doesn't have to drop down on a macro time frame to have another touchdown at its low Bollinger. We don't want to see that. But if it has to happen, let it happen, and it'll be a massive spike back up. I do believe it can consolidate here, but it's like you look at Bitcoin and there's room for it to touch back down. Like for example, 100K. Let's look at even the total market cap of altcoins, excluding Bitcoin. And again, it's look at this type of formation. It comes up here and it comes back down. It comes up here, it comes back down. So it's not that bad. It's not looking that bad. Yes, there's some room to fall back down a little bit more, but you got to secure your bag too. At the same time, you have to understand Kaspa is superior to everything. And once you understand that Kaspa is getting manipulated as well from these giant whales like Change Finance. I think Change Finance could actually be these orders on MEXC, like these outrageous orders. Like, where do you get all this money from? One sec. Like you see, it's literally all the way up to 20 cents. $12 million. Okay. So that's what we're working with. We have $12 million that needs to be purchased in value of Kaspa in order to reach an all-time high. Now something interesting, you see the sell orders at 14 cents, they get the sell wall, the thickness of the sell wall gets cut in half. So here you go, basically 10 million Kaspa at every single point. And from here on out, it's down to like 5 million. Now that's good to see because this type of sell wall used to be massive up here to near the 18 to 20 cent range, and now it's fallen down here. So this is good. This is very good. That means whoever's trying to sell, they're just selling for less. So now it's going to be easier for buyers to buy up this sell wall than if it was up here, which would cost more. So I do think it's honestly change finance still selling the money that they stole. They're having these sell orders. It's hard to say, they gave some really lame excuse. Here's their extremely here's their extremely lame excuse on it's like xt.com, or not xt, xt and like Zegex. Like, this is, trust us, bro. We affirm the facts. No, there's no facts. The facts are that you took the money and you sent it to MEXC and other exchanges. Like, that's 332 million Kaspa. Jeez, that's almost as much as this James Wynn guy's, like, who lost $100 million. It's almost as much as him. Like, 332 million cash. That's a lot of money that's out on the open market trying to be sold, and I think a majority of it has been sold, but we're gonna have to see because this still needs to be purchased. I do think that we're gonna have to we think we'll find support at this 9 cent range and test back up at the 10 to 10.5 cent, and at that 10 to 10.5 cent is where this sell wall also starts to form. Here we go, 9.6. You got a million cash. And here at this 10.3, 10.5 cent, the sell wall gets heavier. It's just like this, like just last night, this 9.6 cent thing, this wasn't here, and now it seems like whoever's trying to sell just keeps putting these sell orders up. So we need these smart contracts to roll in, gain adoption from Ethereum, Solana, Base, like all these hot blockchains. We need to make Kaspa the hot blockchain, the hot block DAG. We need to make it hot, and I think it very well will be very, very hot going into the summer, and especially the end of the summer. 2026, I think, will be the year for Kaspa for explosive growth. I think all of these orders are going to be purchased, not just from retail, but also institutions that are realizing Kaspa is the solution that we've been looking for in crypto since inception. Something else to also keep in mind, FTX stables are getting refunded today, starting now. Now, this is huge. $15 billion of stables, okay? So FTX, the whole collapse, they're giving their money back to the people that lost money because the legal lawsuits and all that stuff. So fortunately, that's a lot of investors' money. People that were previously investing in crypto. Now, $15 billion of stable coins, of course, not all of it is going to go into crypto, but that's going to be a lot. That's a lot of buying power. And that's starting today. This is huge. This is a very big deal. Goes directly into Kaspa, right, man? You already know it. Crypto Matt, man. Crypto Matt's also saying a lot of stuff like, yeah, if you're long term on Kaspa, then you're not bullish short term. But honestly, it's like you have to get through. Look at this. Who has 12, 13 million dollars to just purchase all of this on the open market on MEXC, which has the largest sell orders? Who has this money? It's hard to be extremely bullish short term to reach an all-time high for Kaspa right now until new investors, big institutions, global adoption, once that starts to come, then that's not going to be a problem. 12 million, $10 million, that's like chump money. That's chump change. Just right now, you look here, this right here, this is 10 million, 20 million Kaspa. Look at this, the volume right here. This is just on MEXC, and you look on Kraken as well. This is tens of millions of Kaspa being traded. So the volume is there for Kaspa, but it needs big money to come in and buy up these orders. So yes, we are long term, of course, most bullish on Kaspa. Short term, it's a volatility. That's what it is. It's crypto. It's going to be volatile until we get the new money in to take out these sell orders. These sell orders are people that don't want to invest long term. They're happy selling for their $10 million on MEXC. They're happy with that. Then the same with sharks, and we saw that on cast.fyi. Now I saw this also about like a month ago. And this is a distribution. And the distribution that's happening is the sharks are getting out with more dolphins coming in. And as well, whales. Whales could be the centralized exchanges that are accumulating. Sharks are just the, early holders, the early miners or whatever. They're happy with their few $100,000 or whatever it is, and they're selling. Good for them. That's healthy redistribution. Now let's look at Kaspa Analytics. That has even better graphs. So here we are with Kaspa Analytics, and this paints the picture extremely clearly. We see people holding 1 to 10 million Kaspa. They're the ones that are crashing the market. They're crashing the Kaspa price. And now we see with 100K to 1 million, this is the Dolphins. Dolphin Army strong. They're accumulating. Okay, Kaspa is getting redistributed from sharks to dolphins. Healthy. This is extremely healthy. And not just that, but we see this, the behemoths, 100 million to 1 billion Kaspa, still continuing to accumulate. Even though the price is going down, look at this. They're accumulating and they're holding. The sharks, they're selling. Dolphins are accumulating despite the price going down. That's how Kaspa is operating right now. So you have to understand we're in a redistribution period during this entire downtrend for, even the past whole entire year. This has been redistributing from those who own a lot to those who own less, and that's why such few people can see such massive gains in crypto, because it's just the whole redistribution. So once you reach a certain period, it's like, all right, I'm out. You sell, and you're not going to be able to see the the tens and millions of dollars because you already sold for like 100K or something like that. That's just how crypto goes, and not just with Kaspa, but also it's meme coins. Nacho, Kango, the same type of deal, the same type of redistribution is happening. So if you don't hold on and you don't sit on your hands, you're not going to see those 100x, 1000x gains, because it's just the psychology of it. People that make a lot of profit, they sell, and people aren't like so much. They say they're diamond hands, but at the end of the day, they take their profit. Whether it's $20, $100, $100,000, whatever it is, people take profit. So if you want, you want to maximize your profit, you're gonna have to sit on your hands and wait for however long it needs, because there's still a lot of redistribution that needs to happen. A lot of Kaspa still needs to go from the hands of the sharks, like we see on MEXC, and it needs to go to the dolphins, and even I don't know, what do you even call those other ones? The megalodons, I think. Okay, they're the humpbacks. The humpbacks are like the huge exchanges that are accumulating. It's the block tag. Who is not investing in the block tag long term? I don't know. The people that want the short-term profits, like, that's great and all, but that's not what Kaspa is. Kaspa is a long-term investment that needs the long-term to see the max gains. Like, yeah, you want to flip Kaspa for a 2x, a double. Well, congrats, you just did that. If you played the cards right, you just went from here to here and you just doubled your money. But then you had to have sold over here as well. So it's like, if you're a trader, then trade it. But you have to be a successful and a very good trader. Otherwise, you're not going to be making money short term, in my honest opinion. Yeah, I could definitely give those calls and the shout outs in my Discord, which I have been. And you can make a 20% increase in your bag just by a simple little a macro change of the direction. People love their linear charts, their linear patterns, but crypto doesn't move linearly. Nothing moves in a straight line. You can make these type of charts all you want, but nothing works like this. So if you want to actually, make the most bang for your buck, you want to make the most of your money, join my Patreon. I'm giving those. I could even coach you how to trade. I give those calls, those buy sell signals, and I can help you make a little more money than if you were just a randomly dollar cost average. So that's my thoughts on Bitcoin and Kaspa. Now with Ethereum, again, it's very, very much up there. It can very well test back down to this 2.5K range without any issue, and that could even go down to 2.44. But we want that to support. We want that support to hold, And you have to also keep in mind, look at the monthly time frame. We're still in a macro uptrend. This is something you cannot forget. So yes, we may be in a bit of a consolidation period on the weekly chart, but when we go looking in the monthly, this is extremely healthy for crypto. We look at the total altcoins, the altcoin market. Check on the monthly and look at this again, an extremely healthy uptrend. So this is beautiful. And we look at it even compared to gold. And once again, you see that it's very, very much undervalued. And this is like creating the bottom formation for a macro reversal on, especially with respect to hard money, to gold. So do I think the bull run or whatever you want to call it is over? No, I don't think. I think it just started actually. Um, but we're gonna need some time. So yeah, you may need to wait for it toward the end of the summer. That's something very reasonable. We need to wait a few months. So on the monthly time frame, we may need to wait another month, another 2 months, because the weekly chart needs some time to consolidate. Now, people are thinking like, oh my gosh, the bull run, it's going to be over at on this exact day of August 2025 or whatever the case is. But you have to understand that we are no longer in your typical bull cycle, 4-year bull cycle for crypto. No, I don't think we're in that at all. And this is a very interesting post. Let me refer to it. OG Bitcoin analyst Willy Woo, he lays it out straight up. Bitcoin is a global macro this cycle. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be, the nicely manicured 4-year cycle, because it is a transitioning period where crypto, especially Bitcoin, is getting global adoption. It's becoming a little bit more mainstream. Internal forces, the halvening, it's getting weak. The halvening, so much of the supply is already mined, so that's going to be introducing less of that, boom and bust sell pressure that creates these 4-year cycles. Global liquidity powers, as well, is another interesting point, because you look at the M2, global M2, the liquidity market, and it's been pumping up, and Bitcoin has been following the global fiat liquidity. It's been following it very, very well. So once you have all that liquidity coming into Bitcoin, coming into crypto, it's a very bullish time period where I don't think we're going to see those 4-year cycles. I think we're going to be seeing currently, as of now, not a 4-year cycle, but it's going to be a decade-long golden age for crypto. That's my opinion of where we are right now. So the early days of crypto, I think, are over, and that's why I'm extremely bullish on not just Bitcoin, but even more bullish on Kaspa. Will Kaspa see 4-year cycles? No, I don't think it will. Kaspa sees a happening about once every year, because it's 5% decrease in emission schedule every month. This 5% leads to about happening once a year. So it's like, it's not going to be like this boom and bust. I think it's going to be a very much more steady growth with Kaspa compared to Bitcoin in its early days. But this steady growth, especially during this whole period, you see that the big money has accumulated a lot of Kaspa and they're selling. So that's healthy and that's normal. So people that aren't, that don't understand the long-term vision, they don't want to wait for the long-term vision. That's what this is all about. But I think especially with the mining rewards now nearing 91% fully mined, that's a lot less sell pressure. So it's going to come down to, the OGs, the sharks of Kaspa, the ones that are going to be selling, but institutions are going to be buying this up. We already see that right here with, what do you call them? The humpback whales are buying. Dolphins are also buying. This is distribution. And again, when Kaspa gets $1 to $10, it's going to be the dolphins that are going to be selling, just like the sharks right now. And then it's going to be, what are this, the crabs? Or the fish. The fish are going to be the ones that are going to be accumulating heavy. When it's all the type of redistribution. And that's extremely healthy for crypto and Kaspa. So here we are with 9 cents, seems to be holding. We'll have to see, in the coming days, in the coming weeks, how this consolidation happens. I think we're going to see, it's very likely, I think, that it's going to have to retest back up at this around 10 cent, 10.5 cent range, even higher, up to 11 cents. It's going to, that's my opinion, where it can go short term. I do want it to hold 8 cents to 8.5 cents. I really want it to hold that. And I think if it does hold, then that's going to be extremely bullish, especially 8.5 cents. If it holds that, I mean, in both cases, it's both 8 and 8.5 cents. That's a very important place to hold. And because if it doesn't hold that, then I think it can go all the way down back to a macro bottom down to here. That would kind of stink, but if it does happen, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be putting a lot more money into Kaspa, and it's going to see very fast, explosive growth. So that's my thoughts on the price, and even like with FTX, a lot of liquidity coming into the whole crypto market. It's not guaranteed, of course, but then I mean you have to also keep in mind. Check this out. This guy, it's true. Ethereum did 55 times after a 2-year consolidation, taking it to 561 billion market cap. Cardano or whatever, 178 times. XRP, 670 times. These are all after 2-year consolidation periods, which is exactly what Kaspa is currently in. It's in this is a 1-year consolidation, but Kaspa has been in basically, okay, let's check the yearly. Yeah, in more than a year. It's been about 1.5 years of consolidation. So if you can wait an extra 6 months, that's all it could take for Kaspa to finally break all-time high. So if you want to see it like the short term, just hold for 6 months, okay? Give it 6 months, and that's the amount of time that I think it could take to reach an all-time high. Is it guaranteed? No. Are you going to sell your bag after 6 months? I'm going to be very, you should be very sad if you have to do that, or if you want to do that, because you have to understand Kaspa is the upgrade for crypto. It's the solution for crypto, and you're selling this at 2.3 billion market cap. You compare it to other investments out there, like this isn't an investment. Kaspa is a currency. It's a hard currency. Look at the market cap of gold. You'd be surprised Kaspa isn't 2.3 trillion market cap. I mean, look at Bitcoin. It's just starting to be fairly priced, and it's worth what? 2.1 trillion market cap, almost 2.2 trillion, and it finally was able to flip silver in market cap. So you already know it's going to be rivaling gold, and Kaspa is going to most definitely be rivaling silver. Kaspa is going to reach this market cap. Like it or not, it's going to reach it. In the next decade, I believe it can reach this market cap. And we'll see exactly how Kaspa moves with respect to Bitcoin, because at the end of the day, when people really start to look at the technology of Kaspa and really start to understand, wait a second, Kaspa is more secure than Bitcoin. If I wait the same amount of same confirmation times on Kaspa, my transaction is going to be more secure. So why would people be choosing something that's less secure? Why are they going to choose it, especially if you have to wait so much longer and it's not even more secure? It makes no sense. So Kaspa is more secure, and we're going to see it become more decentralized than Bitcoin as more nodes come online, and especially as adoption increases. Bitcoin's decentralization isn't. So Kaspa is the mining of Kaspa is more decentralized because it allows more home miners. The mining algorithm is much more efficient. It doesn't take as much electricity. The node, because of pruning, it doesn't require as much space to run a Kaspa node. So it just has so much more decentralization going for Kaspa. Security is slightly better, and the scalability is 6,000 times faster, and it will increase. So do I think Kaspa will eventually flip Bitcoin? I think it can absolutely have the possibility to flip it long term. Give it like 20 years or something, like hold your moon bag for that. But we don't need to even see that type of flippening to have massive 1000x gains, even just for Kaspa alone. Trading the meme coins, like that's just it's stupid money rich to have, Shiba Inu. Like just look at the top meme coins. Meme coins are the derivative of the native coins. You see the most profit most max profit in meme coins. So it's like, yeah, there's meme coins, but what else is there to invest in? Well, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to invest in Kaspa, especially with layer twos coming. There's going to be smart contracts, that's programmable crypto. So not only can it be investment opportunities if existing cryptos come and migrate or integrate with Kaspa L2s, which very much they should. Like for example, there's very we've been some people trying to push Tau to come over and use Kaspa as its layer one, as its sequencer, because Kaspa has the scalability that these other layer ones would benefit from. Like for example, with Tau, it's a AI, and their AI can be greatly enhanced if running through Kaspa. So Kaspa, like Tau, could be an investment within Kaspa. Other things like, for example, Chainlink. Chainlink, I don't even know where it is. Here it is. Chainlink can also be an investment within Kaspa if it integrates Kaspa oracles, which are will be the most decentralized oracle system in crypto in the world. Like it's the only truly decentralized oracle that can ever be created because of Kaspa's multi-leader consensus with parallel blocks. You're going to be able to verify with multiple miners simultaneously. That is decentralization, not relying on a single miner, not relying on a single entity for an oracle that Chainlink offers. So, with price data, for example, even with Kaspa Kai or Kaspa Key or whatever, they're going to be building some other investment opportunities. Like they're going to have here we go with Warp Core. This is like middleware to link large banks, financial companies to integrate their existing systems seamlessly with Kaspa. I mean, that's exactly what Kaspa is all about. That's what I've been saying, using Kaspa as the underlying infrastructure. And that's what they're doing with ZX, as using Kaspa as the rails, as the infrastructure for energy trading. So that's a decentralized exchange using Kaspa as the data network, the thing that moves, everything moves on. It's going to be traded using that data network, using Kaspa to have those microtransactions at such 0.1 second every transaction. Like this is incredible. And then Olive Chain, look at this. So now you have like a traditional company, and it's going to be powered by Kaspa. So you're going to be able to invest in this, and because it's using Kaspa, it's going to be able to work more efficiently. It's going to be able to save money from fees, not have to pay middlemans or whatever. So this is going to be ways that you can use Kaspa as an investment. Airspace 3D, what is this? Technology for real-time 3D airspace tracking, smart contracts for airspace allocation, decentralized air traffic control, and enhance the efficiency and safety of logistics and urban air mobility. So again, Kaspa Block DAG as an underlying network for this data, this real-time data, this tracking and air traffic control needs to be highly secure and decentralized and fast. Nothing is faster than the internet. Nothing is faster than Kaspa. So you're asking, what are going to be opportunities to invest? Well, mobility infrastructure insurance framework. It's going to be using as Kaspa as the data ledger. Enhance security, reduce fraud. Everything's going to be transparent on the blockchain, extremely efficient. So there's just so many applications for Kaspa and ways to invest. And all these applications, they're all going to be great investments, but what's going to be the top? Kaspa is the top, and the derivative, the leverage play, is its meme coins. That's just how it works. So the meme coins are going to be the top asset on Kaspa, and Nacho, Kango, they're going to be the top ones, and you're going to have all these other opportunities to invest. They're going to be. I'm sure you'll make some good money on them as well. But look at the Shiba Inu, look at the Pepe, look at what else is there? The Bonk on Solana. These things, that's just how they work. That's just how crypto works. It's just kind of like the no-brainer move, especially because you don't have funding fees. Not like the James Wynn guy, wasting $500,000 on funding fees before he got liquidated. This thing, you just hold it for a year, hold it for 2 years, and then blast off, and now you're in the multi-billion-dollar market cap. Because Solana was trading at 80 to 100 billion, 50 billion market cap, and now these meme coins are trading at over $1 billion. So it's just kind of like destiny to happen, but it's going to take time because it's not going to happen if a lot of people start getting a profit. For example, with Nacho or with Kango, they're going to be selling, and once they sell, it's not going to be able to have these explosive growth if so many people sell. So you're going to have the majority of people of long-term hodlers, they're going to have to sell their bags. And once they sell, then there's going to be opportunity. Like, for example, they sell right here. Once they sell, then that's going to be the opportunity for this explosive price growth and extremely high volatility for meme coins. So that's the move. That's what's up with Kaspa. How we doing? Still hovering above 9 cents. We're gonna have this, it's basically at this middle moving average on the macro time frame. And it saw that as resistance. It could see it here as support, but that's good. You literally just look at it. You see this is a downtrend, macro downtrend. This is now a floor. And now this is an uptrend. So we are in an uptrend, a macro uptrend. You can't forget that because it will. This is the fear. You buy into the fear, and as it consolidates, this is the point where you really can buy at a discount. And this uptrend is going to continue, and then boom, we're going to be back at 15 cents, and then finally, hopefully by the end of 2025, we can see a retest of 20 cents. I think it may need 6 months though. That'll take us to the end of the year, the end of 2025. I really do believe 2026 is going to be explosive. So you heard it here first, or maybe you've heard it all the time. Maybe you've been hearing it for the past year, but that's what I really do believe. And hopefully these technical macro indicators can help you with your conviction, and hopefully this understanding the technology of Kaspa can further help you with your conviction of where it's headed long term to become the #1 crypto, not just in technology, but in price action. Peace.